Hello, my loves, and welcome to this beautiful feedback call I'm about to have with a beloved soul sister, Mia. To give you a little background of how this could be really powerful for you if you're in your sensual embodiment journey, me and her are going to be going into her journey. When she started, and just for you guys to know a little background, she's in her mid 30s and she comes from a very traditional religious family. And when she came into SEM, she had all of this conditioning, all of these blocks from family and reasons why she had to close herself and sexuality and shame. And she chose to invest into herself, into finding who she was and finding a balance amidst being a hardworking single woman, a devoted family member with a very religious family, and also a woman who was striving to find her freedom, to find her juiciness, and to find her authenticity through her pleasure. So I am so excited to welcome her into this space and for you guys to really hear her journey through her sensual embodiment of what has happened for her from where she was to where she is now and what's happening in her life. Okay, my love. So here we are. I'm so excited to be on this call with you, to have this space, to welcome you in. Thank you for being here. Thank you for landing in. Just for our women who are joining in, tell us a little bit about you as you're landing in.
All righty. Thank you so much for having me here. I'm an honored to be in your presence and to connect with you. Um, my name is Emerita, coming from Virginia on the east side of the United States. Um, just a little bit about me, passionate in the health field, fitness, and loving my personal development. I think a lot of things have taken place in life that have motivated me to choose me and work on me. I love learning new things every day. I'm into herbs, herbal medicine, and new things that I'm adventuring into is making my own body butter, body oils, and soap. So I was like, let's do it. So I'm excited for that.
Wow, baby. Yes, I always love like the diversity of women that get drawn into this space and how multicultural and international we are. So, especially when we first connected, I was like, damn, all the way from the States, so good. But let's dive in. So, you've been now in SEM for a little over 10 weeks. I would love to know before you joined into this journey and you started on this part of your opening and shifting and transmuting, where were you at? What was happening in your life?
I think before joining, I was stuck in this conditioned part, what my parents had conditioned me, culture had conditioned me from societal conditioning of like you get your education and everything, and then you get married. Meet someone, and then you go forward from there. But I had so much trauma with myself around gentlemen's about things like where I would meet someone, I thought it's a spark, and then it just dies out. But then I would come back to myself. I was like, oh, maybe I'm not beautiful, or I would have compare myself with other ladies. I was trying to push it, but it was getting to a point where I needed something different to shift, a transformation. I knew within me that in order to become the woman I want to become, there needs to be some shift, some change. So before coming and joining, I was pretty much with, just running around as I'm like a mountain that was just like, as I say, same mountain, different pants.
Yeah. But so powerful that you share this because I think a lot of women are in that boat where it's like, again, like we're trying, we're shifting, but we're just repeating patterns and we're seeing it like Groundhog Day in our lives. I just want to ask you, like, how were you feeling in yourself during those times, and how long were you kind of in that pattern for?
I would say it was like, you would shift a little bit a day, like changes occur, but then you just go right back to old patterns. And it's just like getting to a point where you're like taking a step forward and then back, forward and then back. And I was like, okay, you know what? There gotta be a way where you can just step forward and just break through all those chains and be like, okay, on to the next step. I'm here. There's no backwards. We're going forward. So that's what I was going through.
Wow. Yeah, like crazy. And also thank you for sharing because it is like, and I know I was also there too, where it was just like this constant back and forth and like, is there possibly a way to move forward? And speak to me. I know you said like when you first joined in as well, there was like a lot of cultural conditioning. And I know we've spoken about it and gone into it too with like your family and like loving them and being so devoted and also wanting to find yourself deeper. What was like really coming up for you in that part of your life?
More of and I know like it's kind of sad. Well, it's how it was in the old days where the female had to be perfect in all these areas for in order for a male to say, yes, I can take you and introduce you to my mom and potentially, start a life together. So it's just like, things I saw generational wise and how females were treated afterwards. I was like, there was something in me. I was like, I don't want to be treated. I want to be treated like a queen, like I am a important person. But I wasn't, my self-esteem wasn't there, was, my sexuality, like, I wasn't connected with my own body. So I was going through that phase where there were days, there were months where I would like, oh, you're so hot, beautiful. And then I turn around and be like, oh my God, I can't even look. When I would look at myself, there was all these judgmental things, the comparison with all these perfectionists that we have out there of how a woman's beauty should look like. It was standardizing. I was trying to standardize my beauty when it's not meant to be standard. It's meant to be unique. But I didn't know that before.
But so freaking powerful. And I think so many women, like, that's exactly the block, right? Like, we think we need to be a standardized perception of beauty to accept ourselves, to love ourselves, and to receive love. And it just blocks us from everything our self expression, your uniqueness, your enjoyment, your connectivity. So yeah, thank you for sharing and also know like yeah, you needed to make a step, but at that point there was also like no self-esteem. There was low levels of ability and there was this back and forth that was happening in your life. A question I have now, sort of now that we've kind of established where you were at, and thank you for sharing vulnerably. It means so much every time because like fuck, I want every woman to know like wherever we're at in our journey, there's a path and like the more we're able to share as women in confidence and be like dude that was it and it was intense and it was rough and it was years and it was back and forth and it was generational and it was my body and I was trying and I was stuck. That gives hope because we all start somewhere, right?
Mhm.
And yeah, a question I have now, we sort of 10 weeks into your journey of sensual embodiment and going through the process. Where are you now? What is happening in your life for you now?
I think after 10 weeks into that self-love has grown. That date nights. I have a dress that I got from Shein that's waiting for me. And I told myself, I was like, babe, getting my hair done this Friday, this weekend. I was like, I'm gonna ask for a blowout with my, hair. So I'm gonna take myself out. And I was like, that is so important. So I did do date nights before, but that was like a while back. But I had fallen off that wagon until now. I was like, yo, babe, it has to be consistency. Making, doing things in regards to getting my nails done. I didn't have to wait for a particular moment to get it done. I was like, baby, you deserve it now. All my life, I've been waiting. Oh, when I will achieve this, then.
Yeah.
But I'm like, what? Well, how about now? We don't know when it's our last day. So the yoni practices, the mystical music that we have, and then just letting go our trauma, diving deep into our wounds, and just loving this because this is a vessel that or like has all the energy, understanding this vessel where the energy blocks are, why it is there. SEM has helped me. There is one point where we did the yoni practice. I cannot forget that day. I everything came. I was going through my self-doubt, my thoughts. But just when we were doing that, I was like, I'm doing this practice. And I lit up a candle. I had a wand, but then not the yoni egg. The music. I got into my sexy lingerie. And then I just enjoyed myself to the fullest. I did the way I danced, the way I seduced myself, the way I just looked at the mirror. I was like, everything was red, everything was sexy. I was like, this is you. There are moments where I like think about that moment. It has captured and captivated me and my true essence, myself that I never, been in that state. So it's been great struggle with the 10 weeks because there are moments that you have to face your shadows and we can't like shove things underneath the carpet anymore. There comes a time where you're like, enough is enough. I need, if there is a soul that has gone through her healing journey, has called in her divine king, is in this great passionate love with him, and there's healing. But I was like, what is it that I was like, I can attract that same thing. All my life has been like, in order to attract, you got to have this. Look at that. I've been on the observatory part, but it's deeper than the skin. Bonds between the divines are deeper than the skin because it's a soul connection. I just realized now. So this 10 weeks has allowed me to become my own lover. And I was like, the love that I'm seeking, why not first give it? I was like, ma'am, what you shared with us, that in order to get the love that you want, you have to give yourself that love. And then you make space for it. I was like, that is so beautiful.
Yes.
We females just take what is can be given. No, we deserve more. We ain't bread picking or all that, whatever this new terms are, and then you get ghosted and all this new generate new things that people are, this society is doing, a new thing that gentlemen are doing just because you have options. It's time for females to say, take the ownership, be like, it's I'm the one who decides if you're worthy enough to walk shoulder to shoulder because I've gone through my healing.
Um,
Have you gone through your healing? Have you healed yourself? And that's where, when two individuals are meant for each other, the divine partners come together at a higher vibrational. So I think it was yesterday where I'm like, I attracted all these individuals. They taught me, but they were at the lower vibration. Like today, when I was working, I was like, babe, if you got to your high vibrational frequency, what type of gentleman would you attract? I'm excited to put out there because these practices, ma'am, that you have put through SEM and everything, they work because the key is that belief, that you believe what you're doing will come make it happen. If you're just doing it and have no belief in it, so you get half of it, half of the thing that's supposed to come through it because you did it, you put the work and energy into it. But in order to feel the fullness of what SEM is, like what you have done, what you have achieved, you put in all the work. You believed in something that you just created, and you were like, I believe in this. And I want to put it out there for other females. That's the most beautiful thing of a goddesses to do is saying, if I achieved it, there's so many other there who can too.
yeah.
That shows us that you're not hoarding in the magical powers that you and the way that you achieved being with your king. You want to share it because you want everyone to be at their best and achieve that too. And I appreciate you for that.
I love you so much. And I'm so freaking proud because it's something that I see so many times. It's like when we come into our sensual embodiment, there's no hiding. And like the women who are powerful and courageous show up, and that's what you did. You're like, I'm not gonna hide. I'm going to show up for myself and I'm going to go deeper than the skin. I'm going to go into all of it and I'm going to believe in myself and start to shine and emanate that power and to experience what you're experiencing now, that like freedom, that shift, that change in self, that love, that passion, that depth, that orgasmic level is like, yes, yes, because that is why and how we attract. It's not being good enough or being face value and checked off the list. It's actually being like, I'm that frequency. Do you meet me? Are you at that value system? A question I have for you on that, I get so proud. I know you said a couple times like there were practices that you did that really shifted and transformed things for you. What would you say were like the main things that you did to really get you into this place of like power shifting, high value transformation that you're now walking in?
And definitely I really love how you have broken down in SEM the steps. There's steps that we've gone through. Yet sometimes, yeah, you got to jump up a little bit, come back to the first one. It's like a back and forth. But saying the mantras, practicing them, practice is really important. The sensual, like opening up, feeling yourself, the morning love and kisses. I'm like, today I was doing my work and everything. I keep a bare shoulder so I can just give myself a kiss because this is the only side that I can reach. I was like, this shoulder must be like feeling like, hey, where's my love? And I was like, I can lift this up easily and just give myself. I was like, I am not afraid of even doing it in public because we are stuck in this whole mindset that we need a person to give us love when you can give yourself that. I give myself kisses. I'm like, babe, I'm so proud of you. And each kiss I give myself, I'm like, I love you. There's just nothing but love that when my lips touch my skin, it's not because we females, there are some males that are just lustful.
Mm,
They use your body because of lust. There's no love. And the body feels that because we're an energetic being. And I think when I practice that loving, I love myself because my intentions are love and my cells feel through it. The yoni practice is amazing. That writing down, calling in your king, writing what the characters are. I literally wrote it on I know it's a napkin. That's the only thing I had at that moment, but we were practicing. I was like, I gotta do this. Because I'm that person. I was like, coming from a culture where like, oh, this we don't need this. I don't need to do this. But I'm believing that we do. And a belief is the key. I wrote down everything. Now with God's grace, amen, whatever God wants. I was like, hope this happens. And I leave prayers. There's a radio that prays, like I leave prayers on at not around my house. Put it underneath. I was like, I know we gotta do it underneath the pillow. I was like, for me, I'm gonna put it where the words of lightment is coming. And hopefully that can just magically absorb in and then magically, I believe in magic. I believe that we are energies. So the steps that go through SEM has helped me and the practice, the monthly, like the weekly interactions that we get to meet with other goddesses and what they're going through and holding space for them. And this has just been an amazing journey. And
yeah,
I thank you for it.
I'm like, fuck yes to all of it. And like it's so many different women take out different parts, but that aspect of, especially if our bodies have been used sexually, not from a place of purity in the past. And I know that was a big part of my journey. I know you've touched on it before too. When we haven't felt just loved or authentically accepted on a body level, to then start to do that for ourselves creates such an alchemy for pleasure, for receptivity, for gentleness. And it's like nothing to fix, nothing to change, just presence, like rehealing in the system, and then letting your life be that exhale because you are the light. You're able to transmute, you're able to shift so much. I have a couple more questions for you. I know we're in our flow and you're taking your beautiful space for us. Let me
Yeah.
just ask you this. Before you signed up into SEM, was there anything that nearly stopped you?
I think the investment into it, coming, being independent, taking that leap of faith and be like, God, I'm gonna go live on my own. I'm gonna do it, not married. Breaking the traditional norms of like, getting married, then going to the house and everything. I was like, I'm doing this a new way. Um, but I'm so thankful for you for understanding where I come from financially. Because I really wanted to do this for you myself. We invest in so many other things. Yes, they're important, but this is important. Your healing is important. You're right now. I was like, babe, I was like, it's now or never. And I was like, I was like, God, in your house, there's abundance. Someone told me, I was like, you might need a sugar daddy. I was like, um, let me just rephrase this. My sugar daddy is God and where abundance comes from. So I just like look up and be like, babe, could you please help me with this? And how understanding you were with my finance, and found a way to make sure that I can support you as you're supporting me. So I appreciate that. So that was my biggest thing was finance. I know everyone has a different thing, but I'm thankful that I took the opportunity and like, you know what? Let's do it. Let's do it. I was like, if ma'am has it, because I think if someone has achieved something that you're wanting and you're looking for, why wouldn't you invest in it? They might have the key, the things, the answers to your question, the unlocking. They may be able to unlock a door that you can't even unlock because they can provide you with the knowledge, with that skills to help you unlock that knowledge, that door. So for me, that was it. And I'm so thankful for how understanding you were because you want others to achieve that. You're coming from a state of pure love because you're filled with love and you want others to feel that love. Is you have abundance and it's not a person in a scarcity mindset will be like, nope, I just want to keep this. This is all. But you are filled with the universe and God and has given you so much abundance that you just want to share. You want it to manifest for others. So, and I'm thankful that you were like, oh, no, you can't support. Maybe you just have to gather some funds and come back. But you were like, hey, I understand it. This is your journey. You called in. We came together for a reason. I appreciate how you believe in connections, soul connections, how the universe brings you what you're seeking. And just sometimes it may not be in the way that you want, but you've taught and us how to look at that. And I'm proud of you for being like, oh, let's give her a chance. So thank you.
And thank you for sharing this because I feel like it's so important and it touches on such a deep level that one, for me as a coach and like holding these spaces and these sisterhoods, I believe in soulmates hands down. And like if any girls are watching this, like you gotta know it. Like I knew the minute me and you got on that call, like this is a soul connection. This is different. And you can feel it. And the more you go into your sensual embodiment journey, like you start praying for your people, you start writing your lists, you start believing, and then you get to meet them, whether it's your king or your clients or your humans. God brings you together. And I know for a lot of women too, like investing into ourselves is so fucking scary because it's an investment. And if we haven't got our king yet, or we haven't got that yet, it's a self empowerment journey, but it's a deep process. And seeing you in that process of like really choosing to invest into you and being like, I choose to put my money, my investment into myself, and then seeing that transformation, it's such a testament. It's like sowing the foundations that change your life. And I also want to see you in that and just say, fuck yes. And for any women who are watching, it's such a worthy thing to invest into yourself. I'm so grateful I did it back in the day for myself as well. And that we get to be here. Oh, couple last questions. Just, oh, there's so many things. But what was it that made you actually just be like, okay, yeah, I'm signing in, like I'm doing it? What was the point where you're like, okay, yeah, that's it. I'm in, I'm doing it.
I would say I think the last individual soul that I met, I thanked that soul, um, who kind of showed me things that saw. And then once you see that you choose yourself, you get the high and you're like, oh, yes, I got this, I got this, I got this. And then you're like slowly hitting the lows, the lows, the lows. And I was like, okay, babe, we did a lot. Now I need to continue on going because I was like sloping down. It's like when you get to a point and you're just coming down. And I was like, we need to do something where I'm continuing going. I'm not stuck in the old patterns and everything, because I was making new patterns. And I was like, when I saw your thing on Instagram, it just things pop up. And I am like learning to acknowledge the universe when I ask a question or ask anything from God and universe and be like, it's not going to come in the manner that we are looking for. It may come up with a pop up on Instagram or something, an email, some way, somehow, universe tells you. And I love it. And I love it. And you just got to be open to it. And your thing on Instagram came and how you were talking about the SEM, how you met your king. And I was like, I gotta do it. I was like, I gotta do it. I was like, let me connect with ma'am and see where it goes. I was to a point where I was like, babe, I was done. I was like done with being in the old pattern. I was like, babe, something has to change.
Yeah.
I was like, I want to change. And I've come to acceptance that change is constant. We all gonna go through change. And being a Taurus that I am, yes, we are stubborn. We don't like changes. I was like, babe, you got to work on this character of yours. I was like, you got to change. And I was like, now that I got awakened to what I am, who I am, why I'm here, what I'm still finding that, I was like, why would I undo what God has done?
Wow.
My eyes, if the veil has been unlifted, why put that veil back on? You're like, nope, I'm just gonna live like this, do the cookie cutter things, and just exist to live to exist. I was like, no.
Wow. That's so powerful too. And like I see it often with women. We get this opportunity where we have an awakening and things are really good. And then life hits us and we kind of just go back to our old ways because it's all too much and we fall apart. And it is at that point where it's like, dude, invest, like trust, lean in deeper, go hard, like go in. So thank you for sharing that. And also, I'm so proud of you because of the steps and the quantum leaps and the changes that are happening in your life. A last question I have for you. For anyone who is watching this and for women who are curious to join in, what would you honestly say to someone who's thinking of joining? What would be your words, your impartation to them?
You deserve it. You deserve to find the true you. And you deserve to be free from being stuck. You don't want to live. I'm sorry, getting emotional, but you don't want to be stuck and live your whole life in this regret that you were given an opportunity, something came towards you when you asked God, and He brought you an opportunity to shift you, to change you, so you can become that person that you were created to be. And I'm thankful I took this opportunity. I met some amazing goddesses, and then the main goddess is Emma. I got to meet you, got to see you, got to see that it can be possible. All my life, I've been like, oh no, you got to have this and this, as mentioned earlier, in order to achieve things. But now it's like, I can achieve it in the way I am, but use the tools and how it helps me. So everyone's journey is not the same. Our souls are here for different purposes, but our source at the end, the goal is the same, is to become one with the divine. The pathways are different, but SEM has helped me in my path in the way it's supposed to. SEM will help your path in your own way, but you deserve it. Put yourself first, because we are stuck in letting a gentleman, a male, determine your value. No, should never. should never be valued by your body or anything. The soul, that light within is perfect and it's enough. And it deserves this vessel, this your soul deserves to be recognized. It deserves to be loved. True love. You deserve true love to experience what it feels to be with your king and be honored for how God loves you. You deserve to be shown and express how God loves you. Because that's what a king does. He gives you that love. God comes through that king and gives you that love that you've been wanting, that belonging. But you got to start within you.
Mm.
Put that investment in God. The universe will help guide you. You just have to take that first step and look how he comes to you. He has come for me. And I'm part of this amazing, amazing platform that's going to help so many souls out here to heal, to achieve, to love their vessel. Because I know the reality of what's going to happen with our vessel. We're going to leave. We're going to say goodbye. But I want to say goodbye to this beautiful, healthy. When I say goodbye, I don't want to be in sickness. I want to be in health, where I love myself, where I've enjoyed all the beauty, all unlocked everything within this magical vessel. Be our first responders. I've seen patients where I'm trying to save their life. They're talking low. I was like, could you? I called their name out. I was like, continue breathing, and just seeing the life leave, and the vessel's there.
Yeah.
No regrets. Last breath is what I told myself, and that promise is here. So for those ladies who are going through struggles with all these things in life, and you're contemplating, I say, take it, do it. Say yes to you so the world can say yes to you as well. But the first yes comes within you, for you, by you.
Wow. Babe, thank you for freaking sharing. I feel like emotional on this end. I'm like, yes, yes, louder. And thank you for sharing these words. And for any women who are listening, it's so true. And like, I can only mirror it back and say, like, that courageous first step in a woman's life changes everything in ways we'll never know. And it unfolds, and you get to be a part of that journey and that juiciness and that crazy transformation that goes so fucking deep, so much deeper than we know. And I'm so grateful for you for choosing yourself, for investing into yourself, and for going into the depths that you have in your belief, in your practice, in your transformation with your family, with your own perception of self, with your pleasure. I loved having you in all of our group calls for pleasure stuff, and you're just like, I have experienced things. Yes. But thank you, and thank you for your time and sharing your truth and your journey. It's going to make such a big impact in this world, and I honor you so much.
Thank you. I am honored to be here and honored to connect with you. And I pray that these beautiful souls, beautiful goddesses get to connect with you the way I did and really feel that change. And just know that even after those 3 months of completing the SEM, just continue believing in the process. Continue. I was like telling myself, I was like, babe, this is not it. This is not the end. This is just the beginning. We are going to be sisters, like for life, just keep on believing. And when it manifests, I pray to come back. I was thinking about it. I was like, this is not it. I pray to come back and share a testimony. Be like, y'all, here's my king. Here's my king right sitting right next to me. I was like, this is SEM. The things that I learned from SEM helped me manifest my king. I really, to God, I pray God right now in the universe and everyone, that let this recording be a witness that I pray to continue on with SEM practices that I've learned. And really, and time, everything, anointing God's the timing. When my king comes, I want to come back and share that with y'all. So that way you guys will be motivated. You're like, yeah, it's not just Miss Emma that brought her king with us. There are other females who are using this platform, this SEM process, and they're achieving it. So I hope to be that vessel that testimony that comes back and says, dude, SEM does work. Like, that I know we've got the before and after pictures of like, the coaches and trade. Wait, I want this. I want to come back and say, yes,
It
this
happened.
really works when you put energy and belief into it. I got my king right here.
Yeah. I'm so excited for that day, by the way. I'm so excited.
Um,
And thank you. I love you so much.